I always thought that was funny, so I do that before every run. It keeps me from going insane. About to load in. The first thing, before you even like start, you have to run no compatibility mode. This makes, it makes your loading faster. The loading time isn't included on the leaderboards, but it also makes the time between turns faster for whatever reason, because being compatible with the game is mutually exclusive with being fast. Maybe that's just how compatibility mode works. I don't know. As we load in, before I even load in, I'm already holding down and right. So while I'm still loading in, I'm moving down and right. You can also press space to remove the fade in, but I found that that's not required. The first thing I'll do is I'll move this boat. There's a gull boat over in somewhere to the west. He will attack your boat. It'll be a 1v1, but it'll just take time. So move him away, especially while your cursor is in the area. You can actually move your cursor before you even load in. You just can't see it. So, I mean, if you can, like, move it perfectly, good job. I don't know how you would do that. I've done that once in 1,000 tries. Like, physically had 1,000 tries. It's only happened once, and I immediately bottled it. So, it's not easy. I normally just don't move it and use my arrow keys instead. And I just move them away. Then I move the faction area. You want to make sure you move your faction area to this spot, or else you won't have the movement necessary to siege the Gaul capital the next turn. Also, I usually aim somewhere to the right. I have hit this forest before. Don't hit the forest. But if you're going fast, it's kind of hard to think. I don't even think when I try to go fast. I always aim a bit over here because it makes the window, instead of being small, big, and I have my sensitivity like higher than it should be, higher than I am used to for these runs. And then I go to Diplomat. I miss him a little bit, and I move him down. Don't click the river. You can't move him onto the river. I've done it like 5 million times, dude. And then I go directly to the end turn. I accidentally hit the faction overview, I think. I can't tell for sure. But if I remember correctly, I did hit it. It didn't register. But you want to like go straight to the end turn. If you hit the faction overview and end turn, like I do here, your diplomat will be selected. Also, I'm pressing space at the end of the turn. It doesn't actually make your end turn faster, but it removes the load in, and I find that it was hard for me to do stuff while I was loading in. And because I didn't click like the map or like anywhere else, I have my diplomat already selected. I can immediately move him. This is where the magic is in the routing. I buy his entire country. This is the hardest part of the run, mostly because it has the most inputs. And then I just give him like a lot of money. And somehow he likes it. Don't ask me why. Like, he sees a lot of money, like he doesn't value settlements enough. Like, he can talk about these things. It just works for me. I then, because I moved him to this spot and not the spot next to it, I can besiege Alesia. While I'm sieging, I'm pressing down and left on my keyboard. You can actually select the ram before it even appears. I don't get it, but I get a pretty fast. It's still pretty fast. Then we have to train another diplomat in Numantia because we're gonna buy Carthage settlements. So I go to Numantia. You can double click it. I found personally that double clicking wasn't faster, mostly because I made more mistakes. my sensitivity is high, so I would accidentally move my mouse. So instead, I press R, and I go to where, and then I buy a diplomat and enter. This is the scariest turn you can have. It's like everything goes wrong in this end turn, and you will have no way to control it. It's all RNG. You can get your army sieging Alesia attacked. You can get this settlement, Condamned Redinum, attacked. You can get Lemonville attacked as well. Like, who knows? Gall just does some weird things sometimes and just ends your run. I also once got pirates spawning in, and like I moved my boat, and then pirates spawned and attacked it, so that was pointless. But this is where your run will end. The biggest end runner though is a Julia diplomat, which you get 80% of the time, and every time he talks to you, you have the best case scenario, he doesn't talk to you. That happens like 15-20% of the time. If he talks to you, you better hope that he doesn't do the 5 million year long give you the paper animation, and then the scroll opens up, and then you have to remove, and then you have to press escape. You're pressing space because you want to avoid the next fade in, which space and escape ends up, creating, like, it ends up opening the menu. That's like super annoying, but I got through it. I got lucky. Like, what, you like 90% of the time something goes wrong. I have a candidate for adoption, mostly because I have a lot of settlements and not as many, but I want to get rid of him, so I have to let go of space and press escape because I don't want to open the menu. And then I have to move my cursor over to the agents. I pressed tab to select him. This was actually this was like the fastest time I've ever done that. Like, I've never done this fast. Now, there's a diplomat that Carthage has. He will be either on the ford or a couple spots to the right. I get him a couple spots to the southeast. Sometimes, technically, it's probably faster to be on the ford, but like, it is what it is. I don't know why. Sometimes he's in a different spot. This is also a huge killer of runs, mostly because you've seen that you have gotten past the RNG. Your nerves are insane. I've choked this multiple times. I've had hiccups. I put together this, which I'm very proud of. You only need to buy 4 of the settlements, so technically it's easy. If you miss, like, I don't know, Careless, you can still buy the others and keep going down, but you only need 4. Then you do the same thing with a lot of money. You're not actually going to betray him this time. You're just going to, like, go. By the way, while I was in that diplomacy screen, I scroll to the top right. Now it's just an auto result. Don't press lift siege. I almost pressed lift siege. Do not do that. I've done that, like, way too many times. You end as fast as possible. Just get through the menus. And that's loading screen. That ends time.